around the world. Go, go to the creepy place where all the boys and girls dance and sing. Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
Yay! It's a Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. Somebody went to
Right.
bed and they woke up and then they didn't get enough sleep and then they worked all
Oh,
day. It's Friday.
oh,
You like that
oh,
song?
oh, 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 oh.
Hello, brother. How are you on a Friday?
I'm okay.
Yeah?
Trying to save a spooky picture. Here
Yeah.
I
You've
can
got you've got a spooky picture this week. I've got dinosaurs.
you
Yeah,
do?
we didn't really have enough time to plan. Do we ever have enough time to plan?
I mean
Not
we
really.
technically do. We
We
just
technically
don't
we
take
just
it.
don't. That's so
Um
true.
I gotta
Mm-hmm.
find a spooky if I don't find a spooky image, then I'm ruined.
It's find a spooky demon.
Oh, I
Uh,
know.
it's it's October, everybody, which means it's time for spooky things. People who do not like to hear about spooky things probably should stick around anyway. I mean, what do you have to lose? We're not going to give you nightmares, I don't think. Well, I hope not. Yeah, it's totally spooky. It is totally
It's
spooky.
very spooky.
Hi. Hi.
I've been watching some spooky movies while I've been
Yeah.
working
Mm.
the past couple of days.
While you've been
I can only
working.
watch things that I've seen before
Yeah,
because
of course. Hmm.
you know
Yeah.
because yeah I
Do
can't
two things at once,
exactly
like you're
like right
trying to
now.
do now.
I made that work though. I like this one better.
Oh
Okay,
boy, what's happening there? Let's see. Let's
Drax
see.
Castle.
I like also that you change your name to fun things. Ooh, Drax Cass. Oh, I like
Ah,
that. Drax Cass. Uh,
feels like
mine
I'm
is
in the past down at
mine's
Drax
weird. Mine's
Cast.
weird. Just dinosaurs. Yeah,
Dinos
I
are
lost.
sort of scary.
Yeah, dinosaurs were scary. I mean, can you imagine if you 2020 ran into a dinosaur just walking down, just heading to get a six pack at the bodega,
I think they made
walking
a movie
down,
about that.
took a left, boom,
Oh
Tyran.
no! Oh no! It's dinos!
Hi,
Dinos!
friends.
Dracula's castle.
Our sweet, sweet friend Colleen is in the house. That's not our house. That's
Colleen
weird.
Colleen Riley.
Colleen Riley is in our hearts
Oh.
and in the chat room. There's a
Oh.
Facebook user, another Facebook user, Kitty. Hi, Kitty. Kitty's going to pumpkin all the things, and then our friend Amy, of course.
Pump it up.
Gonna
Pump it up. You
Kitty
didn't let me
Powell.
tell
I'm
you.
just
You didn't.
yep.
But
What?
you didn't let me tell you what scary movies I was watching while I was working.
Okay, good, good. Yes, please.
Uh,
Everyone's watching scary movies. Go.
not super scary. But it was they had vampires and werewolves in it, so I was watching
Mm.
Underworld,
Mm-hmm.
revisiting Underworld years later. Not scary really at all,
Yeah.
but and probably not good either. But I still love it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then I rewatched today The Babysitter, which is very good.
Are you kidding me? Did Kitty Powell not just say, "Have you seen The Babysitter"?
Well, I
Uh,
have, and I watched it
yeah.
again today.
Watch it again.
There's The Babysitter 2.
Yeah, it's
I don't
great.
know if it was. Oh,
It's
is
great.
it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Is
Mm-hmm.
it also McGee?
It's McGee. It's
Okay.
it's different. It's not. I mean, I don't know if it's quite as good. It's not, but it's still 100% worth it. Have you
And
seen it, Kitty? Yeah.
no spoilers, but
No spoilers.
yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'll definitely watch that.
Yeah, The
There's
Babysitter's on
also.
Netflix. It's really really great. It's really fun.
Mhm.
There's a lot of blood, but yeah, just
I
close
love
your eyes at
blood.
that point.
What do you mean? I love blood.
Tasty. You love blood. We believe in blood. Um,
Um, uh, I'm
did we?
excited.
Yes.
I may tonight watch the remake of Pet Cemetery. It's on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
which
You could do.
I never watched that. I don't know if it's any good or not,
You could
but
do that. I'll just say
oh,
you
it's
could
not.
do that.
Oh, okay, that bad? Better than the original? I mean, worse than the original?
That's tough. It's
Oh,
worse in
so
many different ways. It's
I mean, I didn't like the original, so
No, I didn't either. I don't know whether this one will make you feel better.
okay, well, good to
Yeah.
know. Also tried to watch the remake of The Thing, the 2011 thing, The
And
Thing.
yes,
Well, as you may know, The Thing is one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
it's a
They're OG.
perfect
Well,
movie.
not the OG, the John Carpenter thing.
Yeah.
And with maybe my favorite Hollywood hunk,
Mhm.
Kurt Russell. I think he's my favorite.
Yeah.
Favorite.
It's worthy.
And oh my god, he's so good. So underrated. But anyway, I immediately had to turn it off because I was like, oh, there's no point. There's absolutely no point in watching this at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
It's like a continuation in a weird way, right? It's not actually a remake or something, right?
it's a prequel with
Prequel,
the
that's right.
exact same plot. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing different except it doesn't have Kurt Russell.
Nope.
And who cares? I like
Period.
the woman who is the lead. I've seen her in other things, and I like her.
Yeah.
But lady, you're no Kurt Russell.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry. I'm
Sorry.
sure you're great in your own way. Did we have we actually seen any of the underworld element? Many of the it has many parts. It's like underworld.
Underworld Saga.
Yeah. Any of the thank you
many.
Saga with our
There's
friend
Underworld.
Colleen. Have we gone
Underworld
to
too. I don't know. It's the kind of movie that we ought to have seen together, but I genuinely love them. Not all of
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Whereas I know Colleen would probably genuinely love to laugh at them, and they deserve to be laughed at.
They do.
But vampires versus werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
I think they also don't get enough credit for the werewolf transformation sequences, which I think are actually pretty amazingly well done.
Yeah.
I think the one that everyone talks about is An American Werewolf in London, because that is a truly spectacular transformation scene.
Right.
But I don't know. I love them. They're so obviously Blade plus the Matrix.
They're so
you could hear the pitch in the writer's room or to the studio exec.
Yeah. It really is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so great.
Sorry, I'm adjusting my sound a little bit. I think my sound is a little.
Actually, Colleen, I was thinking about you recently because I was reading some article about the movie. Oh crap! What was it called? Reign of.
Oh, the dragon movie.
Yeah, damn it! What's it called?
Reign of Fire. Reign of Fire. Reign of Fire.
Right?
Oh, the Reign of Fire. Is that it? Reign of Fire? Yeah. Well,
yes.
You start talking about it, I can look it up.
It's Reign of Fire with Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale. Like kind of yet really undiscovered Christian Bale. I mean, he'd been around for a while, but he wasn't Batman yet. And Gerard Butler and Colleen and I went to go see that movie just thinking, wow, this is going to be the stupidest, worst movie ever made. Dragons in modern day London. This is going to be dumb. And we started out kind of poking fun at it and laughing at it. And then, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes in, we're like, ha, that's kind of cool. And it was way better than it had any reason to be. It was directed by a guy who did a ton of X-Files, and he might have gone on to do Game of Thrones as well. I don't know if Rob Bowman did Game of Thrones, but anyway, it was shockingly kind of cool for what it was. But anyway, the article that I found was about that it was like, wow, this movie should have been really stupid. Right. It was written by a couple of guys who had never written a screenplay before. It was basically their first idea, and they pitched it, and it got made into a movie. And it shouldn't have worked. And it wasn't a big movie. I don't think it was a hit or anything, but it ended up being way better than it ought to have been. Oh yeah, Colleen. Now, don't walk this back. Do not pretend like we weren't. I'm not saying you loved it,
Right.
but we definitely both walked out of that movie theater going, "Wow, that was definitely better than we expected it to be." So
You wanted it to be worse.
Don't try to front. Well, I mean, Colleen did it for sure. I expected it to be worse, but I mean, I always want things with dragons in them to not suck. I want it to be cool.
Totally. Yeah. Come on.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it ended up being kind of fun.
I've never seen it. I need to treat myself.
You've never seen it?
Or
Oh,
not.
it's
yeah.
it's,
I mean, you talked about it for years, but I just never. I don't know.
it's really weird. It's really weird. It's like dragons in a post-apocalyptic. Wow. In post-apocalyptic London, it's post-apocalyptic because of the dragons. I'm not saying the premise is good or not stupid. I'm not going to defend it. I'm just saying it worked. It worked much better than. But so anyway, so it's these people surviving dragons in the countryside as you do. Then along comes Matthew McConaughey and his roving band of dragon hunters, and they've somehow got like a helicopter and a tank and all this stuff, and it's like, what is happening? It's awesome. It's kind of great. You should watch it tonight. Treat yourself.
I will. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Maybe tonight's the night I finally get to
brother. Nobody knew who he was at the time. And everyone's like, "Ooh, who's that hunky guy with the brogue?
Who's the brogue? For those of you joining us just now, including you, Michael Winger, and a few other people, we're talking about horror movies. Because it's Halloween-ish.
Tangentially.
Tangentially. Yeah.
Yeah. In this case, not really horror at all, unless you're horrified by dragons. Or movies.
Again, New York City, walking out, trying to get a six-pack, turn the corner of the bodega, dragon. I would be pretty scared.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
The funny thing here's something funny. Our friend Mike Winger called me the other day, and he was like, "Hey, I just wanted to call." And I've been, he's been teacher to his kids and sort of chef and nanny and all these other things as we all parents are. But he said, I just wanted to have like an adult conversation. And you come, we're talking about dragons and dinosaurs.
Yeah, sorry, you're not gonna have adult combat.
Not gonna happen.
Your parts.
Anyway, yeah. So it has been, a pretty good week of learning, week of.
What'd you learn?
Well, I learned a bunch of stuff. Can I tell a little bit of a sad spin on a sad story?
No.
I am okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I've been learning this thing, WordPress. I'm sometimes a WordPress developer, and there's this hot new thing. It came out actually a couple of years ago, but we haven't been working on WordPress sites. WordPress is a format for sort of a content management system that runs 30% of the internet, and they have this new-ish thing called Gutenberg blocks. And the idea is that most of the CMSs of the world are moving to more of a Squarespace-esque, give your users the ability to build their own website as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And so this is WordPress's version. It's called Gutenberg blocks, and it replaces the old content editor where you could just mess with text, and now you can like throw pictures in and design things. Anyway, so I spent a lot of time taking your design and kind of turning bits of your design in a modular level into these blocks that our client can then just say, I want this and this and this. Boom, there's the homepage, right? It's all laid out. And I find out in my call with this client, she says, all right, hey, are we still planning to use WordPress? I'm like, yeah, you've been using it for a while and I see no reason to switch. She said, well, I heard a rumor that the the back end of it, the admin section of it, was not accessible. I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I think it's accessible. I think they're very proud of it. I mean, I haven't seen anything to say that it isn't." So she checked with the person that gave her that information, and sure enough, Gutenberg blocks is
Oh,
not is not easily read by a screen reader. I'm
okay.
sure it's accessible in other ways, but it fails on a screen reader test. So I was just like, man. And this client is an advocate for disability in all ways and shapes and forms. There's absolutely no way that any part of this website can be inaccessible. So anyway, it's a good learning lesson.
In
But
the back end,
back to the square. Well,
and,
so yeah,
at the risk of sounding insensitive,
no.
will a person with low vision be doing editing in the back end?
Well, in this situation, the person that had talked to our client had just actually we'd put in a proposal to build their website. I think you know who that is. And they were living with it, and the front of the website was completely accessible. And the developers had given them this Gutenberg block system to, edit things. And so she was telling Risa, no, not all of it. And they have an employee that is blind and needs to edit the website. So,
Okay. Wow.
yeah, I know.
Well,
How's that for adult conversation, Mike?
we're adulting.
We're adulting now.
I hope I wasn't being insensitive there.
No.
I didn't necessarily. I suppose that there's always a use case.
There's a use case, and I know where you're going, and I think that there would be plenty of people that you would talk to and say, well, I get that, but look, WordPress will eventually make this accessible, eventually, because they're constantly doing, and this is a new sort of add-on technology for them, a new kind of
become second or 10th.
Of course, it's always second. That's yeah. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the game. Is that something like accessibility for people with disabilities is going to be not first and foremost on a designer or web developer's list. But so you could definitely argue that. Like currently, our client does not have an administrative member that would be using the site who's blind. So you could say, okay, well, can we just do this now? But like, what if they do hire somebody next week? It's not the right thing to do.
Anyway.
I
mean, at that point, you'll just have to do it on a case by case basis and say, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess if you were working with a client that you knew 100% knew for sure had a person with low vision who needed to be editing the site, and they had no team that they could rely on to work with, who
Right.
was not of low vision, then as an agency, I would imagine you
In trouble?
Well, no, like you need to provide support to them.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You do need to provide support for them. And I was having a conversation with someone who is in St. Louis, a connection. She might need some work, but I feel like she really needed some therapy. And I had an hour-long meeting with her. She's a lawyer. She's in a law firm, but it's a nonprofit, like busting down with the people, not make a ton of money kind of law firm. And
down with the people.
down with the people. Down with yes. I meant to say, you know what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Down on the ground with other human beings.
Down in the trenches.
6 feet under. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So she was just saying, I've been trying to find somebody to make my site accessible. I've been trying to do that. No one's even asking me to do it. I'm just trying to do it. I mean, it's good for grants and all that, but she cannot find somebody who is not charging like $1 million, like a big budget thing, and she wants to stay in St. Louis. She wants to stay local.
What she already has, or
Sorry?
to make accessible what she already has, or to build something new that is accessible.
Well, she doesn't even know. She doesn't even know. Like she's like, I don't know whether I could take what we've got and make it so. I don't know whether we'd have to start over. I don't really want to. I don't have the money to do it. And man, my heart just went out to her because it was just she had run into all these people who were just sounded like clowns, to be perfectly honest. Like people who were supposed to even know, who call themselves accessibility experts, giving the weirdest advice. Like, well, maybe you should switch to Squarespace or some weird stuff. Like I just, it was very
Weird.
It was, she's telling me all these horror stories, and I just really felt bad. And it's just, she was just, but her main lament was, why aren't people doing this? Why don't they not know about this? And I said, well, look, until I met my wife, I didn't know a person who was deaf. So I was like everyone else. I had no relationship with that. And I learned a whole lot immediately. And but was I a terrible person before? Yes, I was actually. No, I'm kidding. Was I a terrible person before I met her because I wasn't like focused on that? No, I was just ignorant, right? And that's not using that in a bad way. I wasn't ignorant in a negative sense. Just truly did not know that world. So
Yeah,
that's where most people are.
Of course, yeah. Well,
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
back to the trenches. Back to the trenches.
Live.
Yeah, so that's the tech talk for this week. You guys, any questions on WordPress accessibility or anything else? I'm gonna look in the chats.
While you're looking in the chats, I share my screen. I can't. I think I can.
Can you? I'll give you the floor. Can you share a screen? I think in you can for sure.
Oh, okay. Let me try that. I was going to show you something that I've discovered about the platform that I use and talk about, and nobody knows about.
Right.
How do I share a screen in?
It's like you go to the top and there's a default and there's a full and you can drag. You know what? I don't know. Oh, maybe you did it. You didn't do it, but that's awfully cool. Yeah. I know there's a way to do it. I
started to do it here, and
there it is. New slide down at the bottom, and then add screen share. Like where the slides are.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still playing with this app that is in beta called y'all. Here, I'll let you set that up, and we're talking about is a
no.
Didn't work.
I have to quit.
Okay.
To show you. Well, I'll show it to you later, but just stop talking about it.
Sure.
The neat thing that I discovered completely by accident, I didn't even know this was on Webflow's radar. And for those of you who haven't heard me talk about Webflow before, I actually wish I could show this to you because it's so neat. Let me just try this one other thing and see if the restream version will work without me having to restart that.
Okay.
Oh, did that work?
Oh, no. I don't think so. See, I can share a screen, it looks like, in using Live Studio. Interesting. I'm sorry, guys. This is like on the air experimentation, which is a big part of what we do here on Fridays.
I know. Boring. Well, let me find so completely by accident, I was just typing in some text and changing the color of that text, and I noticed a little something I'd never seen in color picker before, which was just down at the bottom, right above kind of the bulk, some swatches and stuff. It says contrast ratio, and then it said the word fail. And it was because the text color I had chosen was too light on the background that I had at the time. And I was like, whoa, what's that? And so I changed the color, and then it said, it gave me 3 green A's. So for WCAG, AAA. So this was saying, okay, this is an acceptable color. This was going to pass accessibility testing. And it was just the coolest thing. And just neat that they're taking the care to put that into their program. And it's also really useful for us. So
I love that.
I know you guys don't care.
I think they do. There's a Facebook user, which means that they're on our group, our Opium group. Hi, Facebook user. Sorry, for some reason we don't see your name if you're on watching from Opium. Anyway, a Facebook user in the universe says that they feel smarter listening to this. No sarcasm.
Oh, thanks.
That should be
No sarcasm intended, but still delivered.
But still felt. No. Just kidding. Yeah, we can definitely talk it up, nerd style.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love the cool thing about this platform, Webflow, that Evan is talking about. The best thing about it, in my opinion, is the best thing about Apple computers. Some people really, really dislike the ability, to say your iPhone, to really get into the guts of the operating system and iOS and change it like you can with Android and change all the icons and change everything and move everything around. Some people really want to tinker all day and all night. And that's great. But I would actually tinker all day and all night and never get anything done if I used.
Really would.
I really would. I truly would lose my mind. So I love the closed world of iOS and the little tiny gifts that Apple gives every once in a while, because it keeps me more grounded, and I don't need to tweak. I'm not a tweaker. Webflow is very similar. It is definitely, you have a lot of control, and a ton of control in that platform, way more than a Squarespace or a Wix or anything else. But it is somewhat, what is actually the word? Gardened, fenced, or something, fenced in. There's a word for it, like closed.
Closed.
To me. Yeah, just like the whole platform itself. Like it's going to give you a tool, and you're going to use that tool or not, but you can't add to Webflow. You can't bring your own stuff, which is WordPress's downfall and brilliance. But WordPress, you can kind of do anything. Somebody somewhere has built a plugin that'll allow you to do what you want to do. But man, that guy might be totally high. And so the plugin will crash your entire site, ruin your life and your clients too.
Oh yeah.
Walled garden. Thank you, Mike. Walled garden. Bing, bing, bong.
That's like corporate tech lingos. Corporate like you're fishing for.
Appreciate it though.
Gross. we pledged here at Bivins Brothers Creative to only appropriate Dungeons and Dragons terminology as our corporate speak. So when we're having what is called a stand-up, and that's not D&D speak, that's just kind of agile term.
That's the thing.
Your morning 15-minute meeting just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and what they need to do. So if we are on a topic and then we start to veer off into another topic, we'll say, let's go ahead and resolve this encounter first. And then we'll move on.
Instead of, do we have the bandwidth to meet offline?
Right.
Yeah.
Roll to see. I don't need to
roll to see if I'm drunk.
I don't know. I don't need to roll.
I don't think we need to roll, Kitty. I think we're pretty.
Nat 20, natty dice.
Nat.
Crack open.
Surely somebody's done that. Natty dice.
Oh, that was my idea for a T-shirt. Natty
Why?
Dice.
Why is it not? Why does it not
I don't have time.
exist?
I haven't had time.
Yeah.
I haven't had time yet.
That's
Actually, I was on the Twitter recently,
I've heard of
and
it.
yeah, it's one of those social platforms, and someone was doing one of those things that was showed a picture of some people and says, "Tell me who this band is." They're not a band, but like if this were a band, what's their name, genre, debut album, and hit single? And it was a picture of two of my favorite comics creators, whose names I'm fishing for in my mind, Jamie McKelvey, and damn it, what's his name? The writer of Kieran Gillen. And they very famously created a comic called Wicked and the Divine, which Colleen, if you ever picked up a comic, that's probably the one you should pick up. It's
wicked. And
divine. It's stunning. The art is beautiful, but the story is like, oof, it's really intense, beautiful. Anyway, so it was a picture of these guys, and they're just kind of two Brits. They look kind of, they have kind of a New Order kind of vibe to them. But I decided that the name of their band was Final Fantasy. Their genre was shoegaze, industrial nerdcore. Their debut album was The Lich Is Back, and their hit single was Natty Dice.
So that's amazing. You're incredibly good at that, but you've had close to a decade now practice, right? Do you still, not that many people know about this about you, but is the thread still going? Evan was in a incredibly lucrative, Evan and our friend Jonathan Gray.
Say incredibly.
Well, I mean, relative. At one moment it was. There was that one super hot time that you guys were breaking it, and it was like
we stole an idea from people who had stolen an idea from someone else, which was actually we saw a band here in Atlanta. It was on a Monday night. It was called Metalsome Monday, and it's just hair metal karaoke, right? So with a live band. And I don't like karaoke, never have, never will. But we ended up at this bar somehow. They were doing it. I don't remember how, but I was like, wow, that's really fun. And we went back to Charleston, and I said to Ward and Johnny and some other friends, it's like, we should try to do that. I've never played metal. I mean, to this day, I could probably say I've not actually played metal. Definitely not well. But anyway, we did that, and it was kind of instantly a popular thing to do.
Yeah,
but,
it was packed every single.
Yeah, it was often. Yeah, but one of the things is we would try to come up with fake band names for every show, and then for the years long after it was over, we would continue a thread. Just text thread with all the guys who had been in it over the years of band names. And so, yes, I do keep practice.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's not on, it goes in fits and spurts these days, but.
Okay. That's great though. I'm glad that it's still happening.
Actually, Final Fantasy came out of that thread. I can't take credit for it. I believe that goes to Josh Kaler.
Typical. I love it.
Fantasy. It is the point of it is really become less about thinking of metal band puns and more about just who can say the worst, most irreverent, most horrible thing.
Right. Yeah.
You could say the most awful for a laugh.
Nightmarish thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we try to do. But it has to be a pun. Like you can't just be gross.
Right.
It has to be somewhat metal.
I'm glad.
It's just the little things in life.
It's just the little things that get you up in the morning and just out of the bed and into the kitchen,
into your phone,
or yourself a coffee.
Bread. Yeah.
Yeah. Brother, did you make any Prime Day purchases Speaking of
No.
technology,
I totally forgot. I blew it
One.
on two. I blew it on two levels. Number one,
Mhm.
I got a new iPhone a week before all the new iPhones came out, as you
a few
kindly
days, really.
pointed out
Yeah.
to me. I had no. It was not even on my radar that the iPhone 12 was coming out. I had no idea. And the sad thing, and when you asked me, you were like, do you know that the new iPhones are coming out?" I was like, "No, don't really care because
Don't really care.
I don't care. It used to be exciting
I know.
to have like the iPhone, or maybe it was after 5 when I really stopped caring. Um, but I was actually disappointed when the announcement did come out and they announced the 12 mini. And I thought if I had
That's
known,
it.
I would have gotten that.
That's me. That's me right there. I'm
I would have
sick
gotten
of I'm sick of the
the phablet.
6.1, the fatty. I'm
Yeah,
sick of it. And it's
this one
the
is
smallest
bigger.
one.
Yeah,
Can't.
this one's bigger than the 10. It's
Yeah.
not so much that I notice it really, but um,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I still don't care. It's
You
just
probably could get
something
it.
that I have to have.
No, I get it. I get it. You probably could return it if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Um,
you've got like 14 days, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna go. I don't care that much.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna get the mini for sure, and you can get a phone without a charger. No, yes, that's true. You don't get a charger this time, but
Oh,
I could
they're going
actually,
completely.
yeah, yeah, nothing. No, they give you a cable, but no charger, no something else. But I tell you what, I could pull down a box from this very room and show you 15 warts. So I
Oh,
get it.
yeah,
I get why they're doing
mail me
it.
a couple.
Okay,
A couple if you got some to spare.
I got plenty to
Um,
spare. Yeah.
those are things that just disappear like socks in our house. It's because of my wife.
Interesting.
Um,
She eats them.
She eats them. It's weird. What? Yeah, they're not doing headphones.
Not doing headphones. Headphones. Not
And
headphones.
they've upgraded the cordless charger, right? So
Yes.
they're really going to be phasing out any kind of port at all, right?
Eventually, it seems like it. Seems like that's where they're going. No
I
ports.
saw somebody fussing on Twitter about how, they were saying like not including headphones in all of the new iPhones going out will be the equivalent of like taking 400,000 cars off the road or some figure like that. And then the next person, someone else fussing, it's like, no, it won't. What's really going to happen is the people who want the earbuds are going to go out and buy a crappier, third party model that's going to break sooner, and it's not going to help anything at all. You can't just, people can't be happy.
Sure.
People can't be happy.
That's fine. I don't care if they do. Yeah. That's,
Apple, the thing that Apple still does, and I don't love Apple products the way that I used to,
right.
but the thing that they still do that I think is pretty amazing is that they still push people in a direction just by sheer force of will, right? It's like,
Yeah.
No, we're taking away the 1/8-inch jack, and because we want you to buy our AirPods,
Yes.
we want you to do Bluetooth.
Right.
We are going to make the headphones that you do plug in with the Lightning port so crappy that they are going to break and force you to buy AirPods. But they've been doing that for years. They got rid of CD, the DVD CD-ROM first, and then DVD.
Yep.
They got rid of all these drives and stuff, and it's all get with the future, people.
Yeah.
So I respect that. Like they've got a mission. I'm okay with that.
I do too. In fact, I've talked about this before, but in trying to switch to Windows or try to use Windows, it's the opposite. And I know it's not the same. It's not one-to-one, of course. It's not hardware, but Windows will not let go of old things that I'm sure they work fine, but it's time to move. They will not fully replace the old thing. They'll add a new thing on top.
Yeah,
but sure, it's just
I know.
Blows my mind. I can't. But I mean, that's it. Like I said, I liked the walled garden. Thank you, Mike. I like the walled garden. I write code, so I have plenty of futzing to do. I just want it all to work when I want it to work, and that's That's why. But there are wins and losses, right? And it's too early to tell for something like the iPhone 12. They've had some amazing wins. These things that I'm wearing right now, for me, crazy win. The new iPad, insane, win. It's beautiful. I mean, and that's not going to break, right? Like that's not going to fall apart. So yeah, they're going to charge you $50 for a dongle now. They're going to, yeah, that's where they deserve your ire. But anyway, so that's Apple stuff. Uh, um, we the only thing that I got on Prime Day was an Ethernet cable that's flat, and um, and then so we had a little Alexa, oh man, Echo, like the mini Echo, whatever they're called, dots or
The
dots.
the Echo Dot. Mm-hmm.
And it was on the it was in the kitchen, and it was on the windowsill, and it rained one night, and man, that thing, talk about not, yeah, that was like, help me, Matthew. Just drowned. I drowned Alexa. Yeah, it was dead. Talking about stuff that's cheaply made, badly made. Whew, Amazon, dang, and they know it. They know it. It's really, 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 really lame.
Bucks or something, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's so cheap. So this, this time they, of course, they put the. We've enjoyed the little spots though, with the mini screen that kind of look like little alarm clocks, which we.
What is it?
It's a little round ball with a round screen. It's called a spot. They came out with the Echo Show, which was a big ass screen, and we are like, yeah, it's too big. And then they moved to this.
It's a TV.
Yeah, it's just a little monitor, and when you ask for the lights, and it has a video, a visual interaction, and you can caption everything, which is that's the whole thing. So that when Lindsay says, will you turn this off? And Alexa doesn't understand her, at least she knows that she doesn't understand her, right? So,
Sure.
or when she does, or asking about weather, right? And all these things, it's kind of nice. So they don't make those anymore. They make a 5-inch screen. We got one of those. So it'll be fine to replace.
I've never been brave enough to delve into the world of smart listening speakers. They just don't. I can't get past that creepiness.
Yeah.
I get creeped out just by my phone. I know my phone is listening to me. Like having something that is its dedicated job to listen to me has just always been so creepy. So, but I know you love gadgets. You can't stay away from them.
No, I can't. It's an illness, but
yeah. I think it's time for an intervention.
No, I mean, come on. There's people that are far sicker than me. Yeah, and it does absolutely. What?
His name is Jeff Bezos.
His name is Jeff Bezos. And yes, I do. I do take. It's funny because I have Alexa in the house and iPhones, but then
Alexa in the house.
I have all the privacy elements attached to other things, so it's completely inconsistent. But it does.
Your VPN and
it's really dumb.
Just like a humongous hole in
Well,
castle wall.
At least I have the VPN attached to the router, the wireless network, so that everything that comes in thinks that we're in Albuquerque or wherever. So that's at least that.
If we owned our place, or when we buy a house, I have a friend here who lives here. I went over to their apartment one time, and God, they've got the coolest apartment. But they don't have an Echo or anything. Side note. Whatever happened? Didn't Apple try to put out a speaker called the Home and nobody cared? Anyway, we'll come back to that. But they didn't want to have a creepy listener in their house, but they did want to have smart lights and whatnot. So rather than buy $1,000 worth of bulbs that you'd have to keep replacing. They installed smart, like they made the electrics smart, right? So like,
Right.
it was costly probably up front, but you could take basically a dumb bulb and make it
Yeah.
smart, and they control everything from their phone rather than do
Right.
it from. They don't have to say it.
Mhm.
So I would do that. I would do
Yeah.
that because we would like to have some disco lights sometimes,
It's magical. It's magical.
like movie viewing lights. Like make it blue in here. Like
Yeah.
not. I don't want it all the way dark.
Yeah.
Dim it down. Make it feel good.
Feel good, dancing. I mean, there really are magical things that can happen. Like, I mean, we wake up. Well, for accessibilities, every morning when I set the alarm for Alexa, not only does Alexa operate as an alarm, but the headboard lights up so that Lindsay can wake up, right? Because she wouldn't hear the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so I definitely, I definitely kind of
Does she need that?
explain.
And
Does she
we
need it?
just wake her up.
What, me? Just wake her up?
No,
What if
Penny, the dogs, aren't they like okay?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes the dogs just wake her up, but it's coming handy. It's coming handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun thing. You can absolutely get pretty. You can get pretty. I mean, if you use the home kit is what they call it, the Apple's version. If you use HomeKit, you can install it locally, and you don't have to buy their gear to use it. You can kind of download it and install it on like a little Linux machine, and it will do the same thing. And then you're not going out. You can kill it from going out to the internet. There's definitely ways to be far safer.
If you're a tinkerer.
If you're a tinkerer, see, I told you. That's the it's the itchy part.
You said that you're not a tinkerer, but you actually are a tinkerer. You just know that if you go down that rabbit hole, you won't stop. So you have to choose to not be a tinkerer.
I know myself. That's the point. I am absolutely I'm 1,000% a tinkerer. My entire life is tinkering with something. So I have to. I can't control it, so I have to just, not. It's just like if you don't want to eat bonbons all day, just don't buy the bonbons, right? Like just don't give yourself the option. So
yeah.
Super
bonbon. So the Apple Home, just to wrap that up, the Apple Home, did they discontinue that? Does anyone?
It's almost like a setup, brother. But no, they just came out this week with the HomePod Mini.
HomePod,
and it is
$5,000 Echo Dot.
It's $100. It's $100. It's but it's very much like the Echo Spot thing. Apparently it has amazing sound. I don't know what it sounds like, but it is. Yeah, it's $200 more affordable than the regular HomePod.
Which was kind of big, right? It was kind of,
I think,
style.
Yeah, big-ish for those things. Apparently, it sounds great. I've never really actually heard one.
Sure.
People love them. So that kind of stuff, I imagine, works incredibly well. Like I've tried to like tell Alexa to pair with speakers or tell her to join together and play the same. It's so lame. It just doesn't work. But apparently the HomePods are incredibly well designed and work really well, but they don't have a screen, so it's never been on my list of things to use.
About Apple, I did have the most amazing experience, and I think this is a new feature with iOS 14, where I just held my old phone up to my new phone.
Yeah.
And it said, actually, I turned on the new phone and said, "Get your old phone and bring it over here.
Bring it over here. Get your old phone.
Slide
over here, boy.
Slide into my DMs," and I did. And it was, and then it has like this kind of moving QR cloud, particle cloud or something, and you
Yeah.
take your camera and you go, and then it took a while, but it just transferred all of my data.
Yeah.
And that was, I guess, that was the main thing. I was like, and it even like all of my settings, my phone settings. I have
Right.
an accessibility feature that I use. I read on my phone at night, and I'll happily teach anyone how to do it because if you read your phone in bed and you have a partner, you might have found that they're like, "Wow, your phone is so bright. Can you please do something
Gotta wear
about it?"
shades.
Yeah, I gotta
So bright.
gouge out your eyes. And I was at an Apple store one day, and this guy was teaching me all these accessibility features on the phone, and one of them, it actually is a function of being able to zoom, but you can zoom in and set a button like I think it's 3 clicks for you can set how many you want it to be, but for me it's 3 to zoom in. But you could have a filter as well, and there's a low light filter. So basically what it does is you can turn your phone's brightness all the way down, hit 3 clicks. You can make it so that it's set to zoom, but you turn the zoom off essentially, but you still have the low light filter. And all of a sudden it's even 25% darker. Yeah. And it's so much easier when you're in the room and it's dark. It's easier on your eyes, and you're reading. Because I wake up in the middle of the night pretty much every night. So I usually have to read to get back to sleep, but I'm not going to turn on the light to read a book, right? Anyways, with the main thing about getting a new phone every time is I've had to reset that, remember how to do it every single time. Yeah. Even that was...
That came over?
Yeah. So cool.
See, the next step, if you like that, the next step is to delve into the world of shortcuts, because you could do something where you hit one shortcut and it pulls down all of those accessibility features that you need, and it opens up your book where you left off, and maybe it plays a little relaxing melody. Are you talking
about the home screen business?
It's called shortcuts.
Well, okay. So there's a couple of things I've never delved into at all, and they're shoving this home app at me super hard.
Oh no, that's the HomeKit. That's
where you control your lights and
the
your
lights. Yeah.
Stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's very annoyingly in my face because I don't have any smart things at all.
Right. Including dog.
Oh, I mean, he's last on the list for sure. Anyways. So shortcuts. Yeah, I haven't. Let me take a look. It's an app, right?
Yeah, you have to download it now. If it doesn't necessarily come, or maybe it does come with, but
it comes with it. All shortcuts.
Oh, it's magical. But don't. Okay. That's another whole episode.
Yeah, maybe let's talk about this next week.
Okay, I could do that. Yeah, shortcuts.
You could school me. You could school me on shortcuts.
It's
gonna be a while. Just buckle up, you guys.
Wee-haw, everybody! Bivins brothers talking about whatever.
Great personal automation.
Well, everybody, we've talked for about an hour. It's Friday.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Go do your Friday thing. We're gonna have our Friday pizza. What?
Go watch Rain of Fire.
Are you making Rain of Fire?
Or are you ordering pizza?
No, we have fallen in love with a frozen pizza, and we just
Red Baron.
No. It's home. Oh no. Home's game. No. Oh no. It'll come to me. Darn it! It's Chicago based. Oh man, it's there's nothing better.
Do you add magic to it,
or do you pimp it? We pimp it, as I've said. Yeah. So
does it come with the chi on it, or do you add your own chi?
It has chi, but I bet there is a non-chi.
Is it
home run?
And it's a home run. And you're well. So there's a Facebook user says Red Baron is the bomb. I remember Red Baron growing up and not thinking
it was not the bomb.
It's been many years. They might have changed their game. Although we did, back when you and I were watching 3-2-1 Contact, we used to get those mini pizzas, and they were
those were good.
I love those.
Yeah, those are great.
I lived
Chef
for those.
Boyardee.
Yeah, those and yeah, SpaghettiOs or whatever, and that was in 3-2-1 Contact. Most of you have don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't even really remember it. But yeah,
you don't remember 3-2-1 Contact?
I'm kidding.
Bloodhound Gang?
I do.
Actually, all I remember is the Bloodhound Gang. There was other parts of 3-2-1, but whatever. So you're doing a frozen pizza. Now I want that.
Yeah, you should treat yourself.
I've got all these purple carrots left over in my fridge from this week.
You could put bits of purple carrot meals on it.
You could do like our mom does and put baked tilapia on her pepperoni pizza.
Yes. Oh, Grace, it is Home Run Inn. Yeah, Home Run Inn. It's really good. I don't know why. We've tried all kinds of other ones, even more expensive ones, more famous ones. Nah, it's Home Run. It's something about it.
But you guys live in the land of the cornmeal crust, and you don't do that. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, when we're Lindsay Drexler says there is no bad pizza, meaning she could eat pizza every single day. So if we're going for pizza, yeah, we'll get pizza, right? Mm-hmm. But this is just a delightful Friday night treat that we've fallen into since the pandemic, since the COVID.
We've been doing Beyond Burger Fridays.
Yeah. See, it's a Friday. It feels good.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I would eat tuna on a pizza.
Oh God.
I would do. Noi. I think Noi's saying that they put tuna on pizza in Israel and sweet corn. I think they do that in Ireland too. Actually, I've had a tuna corn pizza in Ireland. I don't know why. Maybe they were Israeli bakers. What? At the same time. It's delicious.
It sounds brutal. It sounds
delish. It was delish. But anyway. So that's our evening. That's our time. We are the Bivins brothers. We've missed our friend AK, but next week, hopefully she'll be back.
She'll be back.
And
is the Beyond Burger actually good? Someone says, brother.
I think the Beyond Burger is great. If you're gonna have a fake burger, I wouldn't. Okay, if you're into meat, no, it doesn't taste like hamburger, but it tastes great.
The Impossible Burger is much closer to a burger taste.
Yeah. But we're a Beyond family for sure, all the way.
I like them both. I like them both for different reasons, but it's good.
It's great. It's really, really good. I like the taste a lot.
Since the pandemic, and I'm sorry, I'm taking us. We're trying to sign off here.
No, we don't ever have to stop. I'm just saying, like,
since the Impossible's been doing something really cool, which is allowing restaurants to sell Impossible meat to consumers.
Wow.
Rather than go through the grocery stores, who are obviously have been doing really well.
Really?
Right.
What do they do? You say, "Hey, I'm going to have a pound of Impossible."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So because you can't buy Impossible foods in any grocery store. They only go through restaurants, and so they're trying to help give. It's small, but give restaurants another revenue stream for people who want it.
That's a great
idea. So what was the point of that? Point is, you might be able to find if you want to cook it at home. If you don't want to go to a place, you might be able to find Impossible meat and experiment with that. Otherwise, you can't. Beyond your best bet to get it at home. There's like two patties are like $8, $6.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Give it a whirl.
See what you think. I
don't eat meat, so it's like it's great for me. But if you love meat, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is whatever.
Yeah. I like you too.
I also like you. Halloween.
Until next time, brother. Until next time, Noi and Facebook user and Facebook user, Facebook user and Facebook user.
So many.
Wow. Our friend Amy, our sweet friend Amy, who just never stops, and she's always rocking. And man, I just love her so much. And Kitty, uh, who I'm gonna go have a drink in your honor, just maybe a little one. And my cousin Mike and your cousin Mike and Colleen, if she's still there, and everybody that joins us. Thanks for joining us. You're the best. This is
Johnny.
really fun.
Yeah.
Until next time, we are the Bib Rose. Me's out.